part to this PowerPoint animation series. We're going to be learning a little bit more about how to animate in PowerPoint. We've already learned how to make some stuff show up, but let's try to see if we can't make a little bit more of a dynamic experience, have some things move around on the screen, and do some other animations that are going to accent the lesson that we're trying to teach in class. So yeah, we're going to be learning some of the motion properties of animation and some other high-level options that we can change. And the reason we're doing that, of course, is because we're looking at this major objective. We're trying to create interactive, multimedia-rich, and well-designed presentations. And in this specific lesson, we're going to learn to create PowerPoint presentations with motion animation, so moving stuff around the screen, and high-level animation options that we'll see in just a minute. Okay, so motion. Right now we know how to make stuff appear. So for example, if I wanted to get this smiley face to appear, I'd go to the Animations tab, and I'd click on Custom Animation to make my custom animation panel appear on the side here. I would click on the face and hit Add Effect Entrance, and then Appear. And now, if I was to run this presentation, if I clicked, up comes the head. Now it has an A in it for some reason, but that's whatever. Delete that. Okay, so that's fine. It's a nice start, but if we're trying to become high-level PowerPointers, then we can do a little bit more. So what can we do? Instead of just choosing Appear, I could choose something else. Let's try Fly In. If I click on Fly In, I can choose how fast it comes in, and I can choose where it comes from. Right now it's coming from the bottom. So if I run this presentation, well, then he'll come in from the bottom. This can be quite distracting if you're trying to give a content-driven lesson that's mostly words. If you have stuff flying all over the screen, it's not really going to help your students learn it. But if you're trying to create an engaging animation that will help the students learn a science concept or to place objects in different categories on the left or the right of the screen, this might be a valuable way to do things. We can do a little bit more, though, and make something a little bit more interesting. Instead, when I click on the smiley face, if I was to go to motion paths, okay, I have some more options for moving the object. So, for example, if I wanted to move the object down, I could click on down. And here comes up an arrow which shows me where the thing is going to go. And what's really nice is that I can click on this arrow and I can change it and make it go anywhere I want. So right now it's going down, but I can move it and drag it over so it goes like this. And so now if I run the presentation and click, the face will move across the screen. Okay, so that's a nice little addition. All right, let's say I want him to move down there, but then I want him to go up afterwards. Well, it's easy. I click on the face, I hit Add Effect, say Motion Paths, and I say Up. Okay, and just like before, you can see I have two objects, or little animations, in my timeline over here. So then I've got this new arrow, which shows me where the guy's going to go. Now, this is a little tricky. In the first animation, the smiley face is going to go from here all the way down to here. So in the second, if I want him to go up from there, I want him to go from there at the end, up. So let's take a look. I click, and he goes down, it stops, and if I click again, he goes up. Okay, that's great. So we can do all kinds of motion across the screen. Let's say I don't want there to be a click between these two. We already learned that if I want the second one to happen, right after the first, then I want to get rid of this click. Now the difference is, formally we've done with previous. Now you can't have the face moving down and to the right and also moving up and down at the same time. So you might want to choose after previous, which means first he'll come down here, and after that's done without a click, he'll go immediately up. Let's watch that happen. Down he goes, and up he goes without a click. Wonderful. Okay, so hopefully you're getting the idea of that. There's a lot of great options to choose in the motion paths section, just like there is for exit. There's one other one I want to show you, which is the emphasis. So if I click on the face, and I go to Add an Effect, and then I go to Emphasis, there's some other stuff I can do. I can change its color, I can make it spin, I can have it sort of flash a little bit. And in this case, I'm actually going to have the face spin, okay? And I'm going to have this go on during the first leg of its motion. So I'll drag it up, and I've chosen with previous for the spin. So while the smiley face is going down and to the right, so that's changed with previous, it's going to turn 360 degrees clockwise. So let's watch that. There it goes, it turns as it goes down, and then up it goes. Okay, so you can play with all different effects and animations over here, and you can choose which ones are happening at the same time, which ones are waiting for the previous to complete. and you can create some really great animations to display some important concepts to the kids. I'm going to show you a little bit more. Something that's quite interesting is that you can actually go into some of the higher level options in this and play with some of the stuff that's there. So if I click on the text box and say add effect and entrance and appear, this will make these bullet points come in, and we've already seen that before. If I click this little arrow, we'll see 3, 2, 1, and go. And right now they all have the little mouse, which means that I have to click to make them go. But what if I wanted them to actually go after each second? Well, let's see. Let's say the first one I want to have when I click. The next one I want to do after the previous. Okay? Alright. But if I do it right after the previous, that's just going to happen instantly. I need to tell it to wait a second. I want there to be a second in there. So here's the key. In this animation timeline over here, if you right-click on any of these and go to Effect Options, you get a little menu with some other options. Another way to do it is to just double-click. Now I can choose some stuff. I can add a sound to it. I can tell it to hide after the animation is done. I can tell it to do the animations by letter, by word, instead of all at once. More importantly for us right now is this timing tab. I've already said I want this to happen after the previous one, right? But let's have a delay for 1 second, because from 3 to 2 there should be 1 second. Let's do the same thing here. Go to timing. We'll say, alright, I want you to wait until the previous one is done, so we say after previous, and just wait 1 second. And we'll do the same thing for the go. Timing. Wait till the previous guy's done and wait 1 second. And now, if we run this, we'll see 3, 2, 1, go. And that's without the click. That just happens automatically. Right? And we can add some more of this. I have this race car. Why don't we have this race car appear right when it gets to the go? So right after the go, it shows up. And at the same time, we can put some motion in it. I'll do add effect, motion to the right. And I'll slide it right off the screen. Like that. Okay. What kind of options are there in this motion stuff? Let's double click on that and see. So here I have 2 checkboxes that say smooth start and smooth end. I can choose those or not those. What that's do is does that means it speeds up before it starts going or slows down at the very end? That's up to you. I'm going to turn off smooth end. This is a race car, man. It's going. And you could add some sound if you want. I'll do a bomb. Why not? Okay, so let's see. Click, we get 3, 2, 1, go. And then if I click, off goes my car with the bomb. Now I had to click because I left that as on click right here. You can see the little mouse, and if I click it, it says on click. If I say after previous instead, then I can say 3, 2, 1, go, and off goes the car. Very interesting stuff. Right, so I just want to show you one other animation that can be kind of fun. And this is to create something that rolls, right? So here I have a smiley face, and he's on a ramp. I'm going to have him roll right into this basket. To do that, I'm going to add a motion. I'm going to have this this face go down and to the right. I'm going to move him so he goes all the way down to the basket. And while that's happening, to make it look like it's rolling, I should be having the face spin. So I'll click on him again. I'll do add effect, and this time we'll do emphasis. We'll do the spin. And I think maybe he'll go around 2 full spins. That looks right. Now if I go right now, it won't work because I have on click for both of them. Right? I want the spinning to happen as it slides down the ramp. So I changed this from on click to with previous instead of after previous. After previous it'll get here and spin. We want it to spin while it's going down. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it looks good. It spins as it goes down. And then when it gets there at the bottom, what do we want it to do? We want it to fall through the hoop. So we'll add another animation. We'll say, alright, then after that you want to go down. And we're going to move this down path, not from the start, because we don't want him to go back up there, but when he gets down here, he's going to go down. And we'll take him off the screen. Alright, let's take a look. Oh, see, but I still have on click here. I don't want that to wait for a click there. I want him to do that as soon as he reaches the bottom of the ramp. So we'll say after previous instead. Let's take a look. Here he rolls down, and then he stops and falls through. It's pretty good. It looks a little bit unnatural, though, because at the bottom here he kind of stops. Let's watch again. He rolls down, and then there's a second here where he's frozen. We kind of want that to happen a little bit more naturally. And the reason that's happening is because in this downward motion, it's set to slow down at the end. So let's look at the downward motion here. I'm going to double click on that to get some of the options. See how it says smooth start and smooth end? It looks natural for the ball to slowly speed up as it rolls, but at the end it shouldn't slow down. So we're going to turn off smooth end. If I uncheck that, it won't slow down. Let's see how that does. Down it comes. That's a little better. But also, the face has got the smooth start on the second one, so we can get rid of that, and then there'll be no smoothness at all. It should just flow right through the basket. There we go. Okay, so that's a whole bunch of techniques that you learn to make your animations a little bit more spicy. You can add different effects besides entrances. You can do emphasis for spinning or other things, growing and shrinking. You can make things disappear. You can make things move. You can make stuff happen at the same time, after. You can add sounds. You can add delays just by double-clicking on the animation. You can find all kinds of other options to make some really great animations. So the next thing for you to do is there's 2 special assignments for you to practice some of these skills. You're going to move Pac-Man around the screen, and you're going to create a scene where Godzilla is taking over a city. So good luck. Those are some tough ones. Upload them so I can check it out.